Could I have you first say and spell your name?
Okay, it's Vicky Shores, Vickishores.
Wait for this wind to die out a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you start by I guess telling me when it comes to this event, what role you play?
Well, this year I'm the chairperson, so I work with the 5 or 6 other people to work together to raise money through sponsorships, donations, and get the information out there about the event so that we get registrations, get people to register and participate in the event. So we usually start in January, and the event's next Saturday, the 27th. It's always the 3rd Saturday in April at the zoo.
What organizations are part of this event? And I know Leukemia Lymphoma Society, but if you could just let, for those that don't know, what organizations are going to be a part of this event.
Okay, well it started as Team in Training, which is a group that puts together athletic groups to train for things such as the Seagull Century and different marathons, half marathons. And we're a group of Team in Training participants, and we put on the Ben Layton to raise money that ultimately goes to Leukemia Lymphoma Society. And the reason it's Ben Layton is Ben Layton was a young boy who had leukemia and did not survive. He's from Salisbury, his family's from Salisbury, his grandparents, and I believe some of his aunts and uncles still live here, and they participate in the event. And so that's how it began, and this is our 8th year. And every year we look for sponsors, because the big thing with leukemia lymphoma is that they like you not to spend any more than 20 to 25% of the money that you raise on outgoing expenses, such as things like t-shirts and venues and things such as that. So we get the Elks Lodge gives us usually $500 to $1,000 as a sponsor, and then they also let us use their facilities on the day of the event. The zoo lets us use their facilities on the day of the event. We have different sponsorships. Bank of America, Merrill Lynch usually gives us a sponsorship, a cash sponsorship. Pearl's Bath and Tile, which is another local company, they usually give us a cash sponsorship. I'm trying to think. They're all printed on the back of my shirt, but now I can't think of them right now. The Clear Channel usually gives us a break on a billboard. And Vernon Powell, the athlete, provides us with different things for the event. And then a lot of the local coffee shops and pastry shops around town, such as Fractured Prune and Viva Espresso, acorn market, classic cakes, cake art, just a whole lot of people that are local businesses either give us items for door prizes or items for our participants to enjoy after the event. Starbucks right here is going to have us some coffee, and the other places are going to have donuts for us and bagels and different things such as that. So there's a lot of businesses here in Salisbury that support us with either donations in kind, which would be things such as coffee and food, or actually give us monetary donations that ultimately go to the Leukemia Lymphoma Society.
Great.
Okay.
1 second. I'm gonna just... Okay. Could I have you do another test, like say testing?
Testing.
Okay. Okay, we're looking good. All right. So do you find there's a lot of people obviously behind the event? Was it challenging to get so much support locally?
It is, because there's so many really good organizations that are looking for help with money these days. So somebody you might have had as a sponsor last year either can't help you this year because they've helped someone else before our event, or they have to cut back what they've helped us with because they're trying to help everyone. So it is. Every year is a different year, but most every business that we go to, if they can give us anything, we find everybody to be very generous.
Can you tell me about your relationship to Ben Layton, if any?
No personal relationship with Ben Layton, other than I do know his aunt. But in 2006, I believe, I signed on to do my first Seagull Century through Team in Training, and that's how I got involved with the Ben Layton 5K. They had been doing it for a couple of years by then, and it all started with a group of Team in Training people who needed to raise money or wanted to raise money to give to the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. And actually, a very close friend of the Layton family, who is very much into cycling, she pretty much, and maybe 3 or 4 other people, pretty much started the event. And this is our 8th year, and it's grown every year. This year we already have 225 registrations, and so this will be our biggest year yet. So that's, I mean, I don't personally have a relationship. I did not know the little boy or his family when he was diagnosed or going through his cancer treatments, but it's a really good cause, and it's local, and the Team in Training is a group of local people. Leukemia Lymphoma Society is national, maybe even international, but the money it's earmarked for Maryland, and it helps Maryland and Maryland Eastern Shore families. So.
I definitely agree. what is the event actually? And I guess if you could try to rephrase my question back in the answer.
Okay.
That would make it a lot easier. What does the event entail? I know it's a 5K run, a 5K walk, 2-mile fun walk. What else makes up the event?
Okay. The entire event starts, well, actually, the promotion of it started back in January, and we always do a raffle. So raffle tickets have been on sale from February until Saturday at the event, and then after the race has actually occurred and people are waiting for their race results, we will draw raffle winners for the raffle, which are really nice items donated by businesses such as Coons Jewelers, which is a local jeweler, Coquino's, which is not a local Salisbury jeweler, but local to the Eastern Shore, Bailey's Jewelers, which is a local jeweler in Princess Anne, and a young man who is actually on the SU campus, and he makes fused glass and sterling silver custom jewelry. So we have those 4 items that we raffle off. And we've been doing that. We've been selling raffle tickets since February. But the event, people arrive usually around 8 o'clock at the east entrance of the zoo, and that's where, if they're pre-registered, they will pick up their registration packets, which includes, if they're in the first group of registrants, it includes a t-shirt and what we consider a goodie bag, which has different things in it, some sunscreen samples, some different coupons from local businesses and things such as that. And then the race will actually begin at 9, again at the zoo, and we'll have a 2-mile fun walk, which goes through the zoo and through the park until they reach a 2-mile point, and then they circle back to the zoo and can go up to the Elks Lodge for the after event. The 5K runners will actually run all the way through the trails of the zoo down to, I believe it's South Park, a brief period on Beaglin, and then back on North Park. And then they'll come back down and they'll finish right in front of near the zoo entrance again. And then once they're done, the 5K walkers and the 5K runners will all be timed by the Eastern Shore Running Club. And if they fit into, either the first, second, or third place of their age group with a fast time, then they will win. We have awards. We have medal type of awards, like gold, silver, and bronze, kind of like Olympic medals. And then we have coupon items for winners also. And once they're all done, they too all come up to the Elks Lodge. And we're usually, if the day is nice, we're at the outside pavilion. We have music. We have door prize drawings. We have lots of donated food for everyone to eat. We have bagels and muffins and cookies and cakes and donuts, fruit, juice, coffee. So while the runners' times are being tabulated to see who in their age group has placed either first, second, or third, everybody can enjoy the food and drink. And then the awards are presented, and at that point, most people just either they go back to the zoo or go on home. So it's probably from start to finish. The race starts at 9. We're probably finished at the Elks Lodge by 11 or 11:30. So, and it's a good thing for families. You can do running strollers if you like. No pets because you go through the zoo. But it's a fun event and we have awards for 8 years and under, all the way up to 60 plus. So anybody can participate.
Great. could you just tell me briefly about the T-shirts?
Well, what we do with the T-shirts is we advertise the first 100 registrants will receive a T-shirt. And if we have available funds, we try and get more than that so that we can give out as many T-shirts as possible. But for sure, the first 100 people will get a T-shirt. And basically, part of our fundraising sponsorship request to the local businesses is that if at certain levels, 250, 500, 750, and 1,000, then their name gets on a T-shirt or gets on our website, gets on the billboard, depending upon what level of sponsorship. So that way they get some recognition out of it. It's on our brochure, the list of sponsors, if they're at a certain level. So basically it helps us raise more money because a lot of local businesses like to have their name available out there to our 225 plus participants, and then most of them will wear their T-shirts around for a while, and the names are of at a certain level or above sponsorship, then the names of those companies are on the backs of our T-shirts also. So it's good for us because it helps us raise more money because businesses want to be on the T-shirt or want to be on the website or want to be on the billboard. So they like to meet our sponsorship level in order to be there. And it also lets people know that there is another running event out there that maybe they couldn't do it this year. They can do it next year if they see somebody wearing one of our shirts around throughout the year.
Sounds good. I guess what are the expectations of for the fundraising aspect?
To raise as much money as possible. To raise as much money as possible and to spend as little money as possible. My goal this year was to have only 10% of what we raised go out in expenses. Whether we meet that or not, I don't know. We did have some, like I think I said before, we have some sponsors that still were able to help us this year, but instead of maybe being $1,000 level this year, they were only able to be a $500 level this year. So we might not have gotten as much of a sponsorship, so we might have had to have spent a little bit more. But once the event's over and we get all the registrations in, we get all the registrations in and we know everything that we brought in and everything that we sent out, I'm hoping that it will be closer to 10%. Only 10% of what we brought in has to go out to expenses. But that's our biggest thing, is so that we ultimately send as much money to Leukemia Lymphoma Society to help with research and helping families who may have someone in their family who is dealing with leukemia, whether it be for support, monetary support with bills and such as that, or just support from a compassionate support, maybe speaking with someone who's been through it or a family who's been through it, and just knowing that they've come a long way in the last 10 years that I've been involved, and there's a lot of new treatments out there, and I believe more people every day that are diagnosed with some type of blood cancer, which is what leukemia is, are being cured. So that's what our ultimate goal is. The more money we can raise, the better chances are that they'll have money to spend on research and they'll find a cure for what we're working towards.
Great. That pretty much, I think you answered almost everything I wanted to ask to get this story, some information out on the event. So your exact job is coordinating the whole event, is that correct?
Basically, I mean, I think there's about 7 or 8 of us this year. We actually were very lucky this year in that one of the professors here at the university, it's a marketing class, we were able to present what we do to them, and they chose us among other events that are going on. But we have a group of 4 SU students that have been helping us this year to basically with things that I'm not super familiar with, social media and a lot of the campus goings on and getting our information out there. So I believe we'll have a lot more SU students at the event this year, which is nice to have. Their help was greatly appreciated by us. And we basically just, since I am lucky enough to be retired, I have more time to spend on this than many of our other volunteers who have full-time jobs that they need to spend their time on. So basically we meet every couple of weeks and we go over who's been able to contact who and what type of commitments we have monetarily or gifted products that we might want to give out to our participants, or food that's being served after the event. So it's basically, yes, just a whole lot of coordination, making sure that people are being called and money's being collected. I do the deposits, I speak with the different vendors, work with getting the t-shirt designed and the brochures designed, and then we have to get the brochures printed and put out around town. And so
Let's see, it sounds like a great event. I'm gonna be
have to edit all that out.
Just try my best to. I guess I like to end always saying, is there anything else you could share with me about the event that I may not have perhaps asked you that you think is important for people to know?
Oh, just that the more people we have, the more money goes to the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. So if we always have, we have a Facebook page and we have a website. So throughout the year, if anybody wants to check on when next year's is going to be, see any pictures from this past year's event, we have a photographer. We had a photographer last year, a professional photographer, and who was gracious to donate his time. He's doing it again this year. And so he also has a link to his website so that people can see what takes place at the event and the fun that we have and the things that we do. So it's really something that even if you're not a runner, you can walk it. So everybody should just come out and put it on their calendar for next year. It'll be the 3rd Saturday in April.
Thank you so much. I guess that'll end it.
Okay.
That sounds good to me. I think I covered pretty much everything.
Okay.
And I appreciate your time, Vicki. And
okay, great. Thank you very much.
I don't want to hold you up any longer.
Okay, that's great.
And I'll be at the event.
Okay.
So I'll see you there.
Okay, wonderful.
Thanks again.
Okay, thanks a lot.
No problem. Thank you.
Have a good day. I'll see you.
Thanks. You too. Appreciate it.
Oh my god, my hair, I feel like it's